Welcome to our channel. In this session, we will discuss the components in React.js. So, you know the meaning of component. For example, assume you have application 1 and application 2. Two applications are there. Here you are writing some code. Suppose like this, you are writing some set of code. And similarly, in application 2 also you are writing some part of the code. Here if you observe, the same code is repeated in two applications. Instead of writing the same code in multiple applications, I divide the code into multiple parts. Each part is called a component, and React is a mainly component based application. Once you are creating a component separately, suppose if application 1 uses this component, application 2 also uses this component. So by using React, we can create reusable user interface components. And simple terms, React component is a function. That means it is used to perform some task. Once the function is executed, it returns JSS. You already know React uses JSS for rendering into the web page. That is a component. In React, the components are divided into two types. One is class-based component. Second one is functional component. Now, in this session, we are moving into class-based component. What is the class component? A component that must and should include extends the React.component statement. That is, React.component is a superclass. Whatever the properties of React.component are inherited by the created class component. You got it? So all the features are inherited by our created component, and we can give access to the functions that are available in the React component. This is the first step. Next one, every class component must and should write render of method. What is the purpose of render method? The main thing is the component returns some JSS, that is HTML like code. The render method returns that HTML. The render method returns that HTML. Now, first we will move to one example. How to create a class component and execute. Now, what I am doing? So app.js, one JavaScript file by default is available in your React application. In that React application, I will return some logic, and I am moving to index.js. How this component app is used in index.js. Anyway, for executing any React application, for executing any React application, first you need to create one React. Already by using CRP I am created. Now coming to app.js, write down the logic, import React from React. So I am importing the module React. If you want, you can import, not at all required at this position, React DOM. Import React DOM from React DOM. Anyway, this React DOM is required in index.js. Anyway, now observe how I am creating a class component. Class class. My component name I given as some sample one. What I said, the first thing is that must and should extends, React dot component. Any user defined component extends React dot component. Within this one, your logic is written inside the render method only. Your logic is written inside the render method only. Here what I am doing, I am returning just one HTML element. Welcome to class component. I written one statement, welcome to class component. Now close. My written statement is completed. Now my class is completed. After that, what you need to do for any component you are created, you need to export. My component name is sample1. Now save. Now save. Go to index.js. In the index.js, you are importing the component app. No. What is your component name? Sample1. So here observe my component name is sample1. So import sample1 from the file app. Here we are creating a React DAM inside the render method. What is your component? You need to render this component into the web page. Now save. Now got it? Webpack compiled successfully. Go to the browser. Here see the message welcome to class component. Now everyone clear? How do I create a class component? By using this statement. By using this syntax, I created the class component. Clear? Now move to the next point. Once a class is created, a class can have constructor is there. So, if you are using a constructor inside your component, this constructor is called whenever the component is initiated. You know the meaning. In Java, in object oriented programming also, whenever you create an object, the constructor is executed automatically. Similarly, whenever the component is initiated, the constructor is executed. Generally, the main purpose is, the constructor purpose is to initiate the properties of the component. Now, where the properties are stored, always remember the properties of a component are stored in an object state. The properties of a component are stored in an object state. If you want, you can use the super of statement. Why? We are already extending the React dot component. Anyway, now I will explain with one example component constructor. Now go to here in app.js class sample1 extends React dot component. Here what I am doing? I am writing one constructor. Within this constructor, you are writing super means to access the superclass constructor. What is the superclass constructor? The constructor in React dot component. You know the uses of super. Now, if you want any properties, you can set the properties also. How do you set? The name of the object is state, that is fixed. You are not allowed to change. The name of the object is state. This dot state is equal to, this is an object, write in flower bracket whatever the variable name. Suppose my variable name is name and followed by my value is this one. That means this component have one property name. The value of the property is Nagarazu. These properties are stored by using a state object. The properties are stored by using a state object. Now here, welcome to, what I am writing? Instead of here, you can use flower bracket. You know, flower bracket. Within the flower bracket, this dot state dot name. Automatically, whatever the value you are created, this value is loaded here. Save. Go to the browser. Welcome to Nagaraj. You got it? Welcome to Nagaraj. You got it? Exactly. This is the component with the constructor. Automatically, it is executed. Now, props. The next thing is props. What is mean by props? Initially, you used the term. Every component consists of a state. At the same time, every component generally associated with the props. Props are properties. Simply, these are function arguments. You can send them from one component to another component as attributes. One component to another as attributes. Now I will show how to use props. Class sample one, level by level I will increase. First I am removing this one. Render return this dot props. Here I used the statement this dot props dot name. But where the props is available? Here the props is not available. Now, how do you pass? I already said always index.js is executed first. This is the entry point. In that entry point, you are calling the component sample one. While calling the component sample one, here you are passing the attributes like this. Name is equal to, name is equal to, right? Now, whatever you are passing, this is stored under props. So you are writing the statement this dot props. So you are getting the props from the calling. Now, save. Compiled successfully. Go to the browser. You got it. Welcome to TV Nagaraju. I got my name. Now, in the class component, till now, what you understand? How do you write a constructor? That is, inside the constructor, you are using state object. How do you pass the properties? By using props. Now, you are moving with props in constructor. That means, if your component have a constructor function, and the props always pass to the constructor by using super of method also. Got it? Now, here in this example, props are not there. That is the reason directly I am passing. Generally, you know, the constructor purpose is for initialization. Now, I changed the example like this. Constructor, the constructor we are passing the props. For the constructor we are passing the props. Inside the constructor, what you need to do? Super of props, that is the parameters are passed to the super class constructor. Now, same, this dot state is equal to, this dot state is equal to, you can write any one attribute. Suppose my attribute name is color. Props dot whatever the value you want, you can write. Props dot color. You got it? Now return h1 welcome to. So I am changing this one. This dot state, this dot state dot I change it to color. Clear? This dot state dot I am changing this one into color. Now here this one is fine. You are moving into index.js. In the index.js, what you need to write? Sample. Here I used the name color, whatever it is. Color I given as red. Now, so welcome to red. Here you observe carefully. Here I passed color is equal to red. This is passed to here. Now what is the value of the color? the value of the color in previous example, here I written red. Instead of that, I passed from as a parameter. This props dot color is replaced with red. This dot state dot color is what is the value? The value is red. It is not displayed in red color. If you are given name, that name is displayed. Sir, I want red color also. That is also not a problem. If you want, so here I am changing this one. If you want, you can apply the style by using style tag. You can apply div h1 style is equal to, by using style tag you can apply, see this one, color colon this dot state dot color. Everything is same. Here what I am doing, instead of directly writing, I assign it to style object. So here I written my name. Save. Now go to here. Observe that is displayed in red color. Displayed in red color. You got it? If you assign it to style, then that property is applied. If you are not assigning it to style, only the value you are getting. Now, if you want, you can place one component inside another component. One component is placed inside another component. That is also possible. Now, again, move to the example. First to app.js. Now I am removing this entire thing. Simply what I am doing, this one. Class sample1 extends react.component. I return one render method. So within this one, what I return h1 welcome to sample1. I return some statement welcome to sample1. So my sample1 component is created. What is my aim? One component is created inside another component. So I am creating another component, react.component. Okay, another component. Same, write down the render method. Within this one, return statement. Within this return. So here observe what I am doing. Div tag sample1. You got it? In sample2, I am calling sample1. In sample2, I am calling sample1 along with some message. Welcome to sample2. Here, which one you need to export? Here you need to export sample2. You need to export sample2, right? So here one component sample1 is placed inside another component. Now go to index.js. Here which one you need to import? You need to import sample2. Now remove all these props, everything. Here I am calling sample2 internally. Internally, it calls sample1. Now observe the output. Welcome to sample1 and welcome to sample2. Yes or no? First I written this one. This is executed. What is the message I written? Welcome to sample1. Followed by welcome to sample2. Clear? Now the components are placed in files means always instead of writing in app.js, you can create any file with .js extension. That is, create any JavaScript file, export at any position. If you want, you can import. If you want, you can import. Suppose header.js, one file is available. Now what I am doing? Class along with app.js, I created header.js. Here I am writing some sample3 extends react.component. Okay. Now render off. In the render, so return h3 welcome to sample3. Okay. Once that is completed, what I am doing? Export default. My sample is sample3. I am exporting this one. Okay. instead of app.js, you can use header.js. Suppose here I am going to index. Here what I am doing? Import. My component name is sample3 from header. Call sample3. Save. Webpack compiled one. React is not defined. Okay. The thing is in header.js, I forgot to write import. You need to import now React. Save. See this one. Welcome to sample3. The thing in header file, that is a component is placed in a separate files also. And at the same time, by using this class components, not only text to messages, you can handle the events also. If you want, you can handle the events also by using this one. Suppose simple example, and I will close. Coming to app.js, remove all. I have one class sample one. Just I changed the name just for understanding only. That is not a constraint. Click button. I changed the name into click button extends. Here what I return? I return one constant handle click is equal to one arrow function. I return some alert to message button clicked. Just a small example. Button clicked. Arrow function is closed. Now in the render method, what I am doing? The return statement, I return like this. Button on click is equal to within brackets. Once you click the button, this is need to be executed. Instead of writing this statement here, I return separately. Now in this I am writing handle click. In this I am writing handle click. Clear? Now click me. I return some message. Click me. Export default. Click button. Save. Go to index.js. Click button. Here also click button. Save. See, once you click a button, alert message is displayed. You got it? By using components, not only text, you can create events also. This is the concept of class component. Finally, what we discussed under class component, how do you create a class component? How do you place a constructor inside the class component with the help of state object? And we discussed properties by using props. In the next example, we are combining both constructor and props, and then how one component is placed inside another component, how the components are placed in file, and finally, how do we are handling the events. These are the things that are related to class components. This is the end of today's session. Thank you.